ẹ káàárọ̀ àkóbójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí ní agbègbè ibi tá bá wà. Alright, ẹ ṣé gan ni mo ti gbọ́ audio yẹn, mo appreciate ma. Akí bàbá wa Professor Adebanji Akitoye, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination, fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n gbé dání lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, cause kò ń ṣiṣẹ́ kékeré kéèyàn máa béèrè fún country, kò ń ṣe mọ́ínmọ́ín, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣàkàrà. It has to do with a lot of work, but àníjẹ́ kó sú wa, and we will continue all the engagement as much as possible. So yẹn ló ṣe pàtàkì, ló ṣe kókó. In the last day of the month of September, I believe, tó bá máa fi dọ̀la nísìn, àwọn èèyàn náà wọ́n celebrate independent Nigeria. Èmi mọ́ tán celebrate o. Àmọ́ náà celebrate independent. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́, so èmi mọ́ tán celebrate. Àmọ́ náà celebrate independent. Èmi mọ́ tán celebrate. So good morning. So we're just preparing as the event unfold itself. So I'm gonna join the studio very soon, so I can prepare the final check. Go to the way I go live with the studio. So very soon. Okay, gbogbo lé o, àní ṣe lásán, kò dẹ̀ ní sú wa, kò ní rẹwà. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ní ó máa sú wa, ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà yẹn. Mo kí Abdullahi, brother mi, Ọlọ́run dúró ti gbogbo wa. The struggle for Yoruba nation is a big task tí a lè afford láti fail lórí ẹ̀, torí pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ nínú Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí, ó ti dé góńgò. Ẹ mọ̀ tán pè ní góńgò, ó ti dé gógó. So tẹ̀tí ka pépà tààrọ̀ yìí, àmọ́ tó wà ní pépà láàárọ̀ yìí, ìjà ń lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Easy mo kẹ́ brother mi. Fight Syria drink drive epidemic. Ìjà ń lọ ní Israel kàn slaughter gbogbo wọn ni, gbogbo àwọn enemies ẹ̀, àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀. Hezbollah chief body found as the group confirmed 7 leaders died in a hit on the headquarters. Yemen port attack as Netanyahu refused to let up after pleas from the West. Assassinated Hassan Nasrallah led Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah for 30 years. Ìjà ń lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Ìjà rẹpẹtẹ ń lọ. Mo ti rí signal on Starr radio, so àṣìmá. So iṣẹ́ táwa kọ́ gbà ni pé káwa create awareness fẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá. Bó bá wà hùn àká gbọ́, bó hùn àká sàkó àgbọ̀, it doesn't matter. Àwọn ò ní stop láti máa ṣe campaign. Bàbá Akitoye ti pè mí láàárọ̀ yìí lára àwọn iṣẹ́ event tó ń bọ̀ ní London ní next month, which is now láti ọ̀la nísìn, ó máa jẹ́ 12 days àbí 11 days depending on ìjọ tí wọ́n máa fi darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, whether from the dinner up to Don Kelvin Mokia brother mi. So láti ọ̀la tàbá ti mú October 1st tí àwọn kan máa celebrate òfò àtàdánù tó ń pè Nàìjíríà torí Nàìjíríà òfò àtàdánù. Mo kí brother mi Ganiu Suraju Alabi, òfò àtàdánù òun ní Nàìjíríà. I'm sure kò tó wọ́n máa fi dọ̀là nísìn everywhere wọ́n máa celebrate. Àwọn Ṣòwòrẹ́ dẹ̀ náà máa jáde lọ́la. So Starr Radio ti ń get ready. So ẹ bá wa dára, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ rí mi àti Archie ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sórí Starr Radio YouTube channel. Ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí mi àti Archie. Sẹ́jẹ̀ sáré máa post àwọn nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. So lot of activities ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń sọ látọ̀la. As usual, hey, Nigeria at 64. Analysis. Hey, àwọn tí Adó Polytechnic wọ́n ní Koiki á nífẹ̀ẹ́ gan. Irú Polytechnic ẹ̀ nísìn tó bá jẹ́ pé equivalent bíbá ó yẹ kó máa fún yín ní maintenance fee. Owó university yẹn àbówó Polytechnic yẹn rather ẹ̀yin kọ́ ló yẹ kẹ́ san. Ọ̀fẹ́ ló máa jẹ́. Mr. Joshua, ẹ bá mi sọ fáwọn colleagues yín tí wọ́n wà ní Adó Polytechnic pé ní equivalent ní UK ó ti ní ọ̀dọ̀ government ẹ kàn máa lọ sórí website ẹ kàn sọ fún wọn pé ẹ ti register school dẹ̀ máa confirm, that is all. Ẹ̀yin kọ́ ló máa sanwó fún owó school yín, wọ́n máa san direct sí ọ̀dọ̀ government ọ̀dọ̀ university àbí Polytechnic. Mr. Joshua ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ and that replicates gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní university àti Polytechnic nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tó bá ti wá sanwó yẹn ìjọba láti wá máa fẹ́ yín ní owó maintenance. Kí ló ń pè ní maintenance? Owó oúnjẹ. Bí ẹ fẹ́ gbé nínú ilé lọ́dọ̀ mọ́mì yín ni àbẹ fẹ́ gbé ní campus àbí off the campus a gbọ́dọ̀ máa fún yín lówó. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan míì tó ti máa wá máa lò ní Polytechnic yẹn standard ni. Ẹ wá lè compete pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà ní America àti Europe. Tẹ́ bá wá ṣe tán ní Adó Polytechnic yẹn ó ti di dandan pé tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ríṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ equivalent certain amount ẹ ní máa sanwó tí government fi sanwó school yín. Ó dìgbà tẹ́ bá ti ríṣẹ́ tó ní cap lẹ́sẹ̀ máa yọ ní díẹ̀díẹ̀ bó ṣe láti rí nìyẹn. Ok, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ? Simon Ekpa tí náà máa shut down gbogbo kò sí Independence Day lọ́dọ̀ wọn mo ti wò àfi tó bá yẹ pé ó tún ṣe post nǹkan kan míì yẹn sáré check ẹ̀. Simon Ekpa page ẹ̀ nìyẹn àbí Simon Ekpa kí ló sọ? The Nigerian degree in 1971 against the Biafra people before I was born. The hatred didn't start today. Okay? I also now want to celebrate so mo lè post yẹn sí interma sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí lẹ́ni. Then jẹ́ sáré lọ post kí n lọ share Facebook àwọn Starr Radio náà ti Archie. Ṣé bá mi gbọ́ wọlé share button. Mo bẹ̀ nítorí Ọlọ́run. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Polytechnic àti gbogbo ibi tẹ́ wà ní ibi tẹ́ ti ń manage. Torí gbogbo wa la manage. You tag the video, mumbo. So Archie ti wà on.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the morning show.
So tẹ́ bá fẹ́ wò náà àti Archie together ẹ lọ sórí page wọn.
The year 2024. So virtually today is the last day of September. How has the month been for you? How did it all go? How did it all pan out? What were your plans like? And did it come through? Whatever.
Okay, so you tagged me, then lọ wò. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tẹ́ kí n wá sórí orí Twitter kò dá rárá. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí Twitter. Ibo ni Abdullahi wà? Oh no, tag me. Mo rí. Notification yẹn pọ̀ gan. Okay, wọ́n lélẹ̀. Abdullahi lélẹ̀. God bless you for posting this video, my PM in exile. Koiki Bami, please check on this video. So bá mo ṣe máa wá rí báyìí. Báwo lè mi ṣe máa wá rí video yẹn? View interaction. Ẹ̀yin generation yẹn mọ̀ nǹkan jù àwa lọ báyìí. So bá mo ṣe máa rí video tó ń sọ yẹn. Ọmọ orúmọ ẹ jẹ́ ń tan èsì mọ́tò yìí. Nígbà tí mo sí Nàìjíríà. Mr. Joshua ni Mr. Koiki wọ́n ti gé wọn létí lọ nọ́dọ̀ wa ọgbọ́n kankan. Their ear don block. Students just going for nothing. Jàre. Irọ́ àgbọ̀n. Irọ́ náà fẹ́ kó rìn wọnú broadcast mi. Wọ́n ti gé wọn létí lọ àbí. Mo bá jẹ́ sáré tan AC mọ́tò yìí. AC drop because omi yẹn dẹ̀ ti fi máa mú mi kẹ́ yeah dada yẹn so okay condition máa ṣiṣẹ́ Mr. Ọláwálé ní àwọn kí mi pé mo káàárọ̀ good morning sir Mr. Koiki ẹ̀yin náà ẹ káàárọ̀ sir Spark Lizzy good morning mo rí fídíò yẹn o tag mi lóòótọ́ mo ti rí but fídíò yẹn fúnra rẹ̀ ò show social post ẹ̀ náà bó ti ṣe ti pẹ́ kò gbé fídíò yẹn jáde mo rí nǹkan kan o tag me but you no bring anything up so I don't know ọ̀rẹ́ máa ká fìyẹn dára dúró mo kí gbogbo àwọn leaders wa mo ti bá bàbá kí tó èrò pè mí láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n send the document kan sí mi kò ń ṣe fún public èmi nìkan ló ní kí n ṣe kaná bàbá dáadáa bàbá lálùbáríkà bàbá tọ́lọ̀ máa bá ń kẹ́ òun ni bàbá kí tó yè leader wa nìyẹn tó bá ń gbọ́ leader wa nìyẹn leader wa nìyẹn ọ pè mí ní 9:23 láàárọ̀ yìí ṣe máa tí wọ́n ti sọ wọ́n dẹ̀ bèrè pé ń bo la báṣẹ́ dé lórí tí mo máa ń kà ní mo sọ fún apá tí wà ní week 19 wow ní gbogbo Moscow brother mi Ọpẹ́yẹmí ṣé wẹ́dà yín tí ó ti ń tutù àbí ó ṣì wà fẹ́rẹ́bù Moscow yẹn ìlú tó dùn ni October 1st protest policeman flashpoint APC opposition clash ó ṣàfẹ́ káwọn èèyàn jáde lọ́la àwọn ṣòwò rẹ̀ ní pẹ́ ní máa kú ló máa kú àwọn máa jáde lọ́la kò sẹ́ni tó máa kú nu gbogbo wa mo kí Aziz Shakiru Yẹmí Fatoki brother mi mo ti mọ chocolate láàárọ̀ ẹ má wọ ẹ ní láti send owó ẹ bá kọ̀ fi fún mi nìkan ibi tí mo lọ ní Àyọ̀ǹdà ẹ ṣáà rí ibi tí mo lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo ti mọ chocolate mo ti gbá chocolate sára èmi náà gbé tèmi dání o ojú kòkòrò tún jẹ́ kí n lọ mú dibẹ̀ yẹn. State command of the Nigerian police force have deployed men in the flashpoint fún protest ọ̀la they as the plan as the day planned so mo kí gbogbo èèyàn okay the weather is cold too much.
We hope that you manage to run through and I'm so good.
Kí ló fẹ́ sọ.
So
ẹni tó bá fẹ́ wè mí àti Archie ẹ máa lọ sórí péjì tiwọn kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ rí mi àti Archie mo sí nílé Ganiu Olóyèdé Ganiu Suraju Alabi wọ́n ní mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá Olúwa wà pẹ̀lú wa àwùṣẹ́ àfẹ́gbóhùn àwùṣẹ́ àfẹ́gbóhùn àwùṣẹ́ àfẹ́gbóhùn ṣé mo pronounce it dáadáa gbogbo aláṣẹ máa padà sí yunifásitì tá máa lọ kọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa Grandma Fatuse Elizabeth mo kí yín mà bàbá Kítóyè mo sọ fún wọn pé à ń gbìyànjú pé gbogbo prosperity yẹn afẹ́ kọ́ máa translate sí English so that sí Yorùbá a lè jẹ́ kó easy fáwọn èèyàn wa so ẹ ṣé gan-an ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmí Fatoki Dangote to transport refinery product by sea okay ìyẹn náà ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yàbí Dangote ọ̀rẹ́ Tinubu Ṣètìmá ti padà sílé o Ṣètìmá ti padà sílé tẹ́ẹ̀bá mọ̀ ó ti padà dé láti UN mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma pátápátá so Dangote náà máa transport epo by sea 17 governors raise minimum wage panels kí ló mean by that láti last year ní Tinubu ti ní kó máa san 70,000 naira wọ́n ní ó sì ń raise the panel ṣé panel ló yẹ kó máa raise ní ẹ̀ ti fi wá pọ̀ jù ká reduce ẹ̀ díẹ̀ kókò ọ̀rọ̀ máa fẹ́ fẹ́rẹ́fẹ́ ni kò dá kí èsì pọ̀ 17 governors wọ́n náà raise the wages panel ìyẹn ló máa sọ títí Adébáyọ̀ brother mi ní Yorùbá nation is the only answer ẹni tó bá ní kò ń ṣe answer èmi ò mọ tó jẹ́ answer is the only solution Nigeria máa pé 64 years lọ́la nínú 64 years of Nigeria kẹ́ imagine ilé ayé kọ́lọ́n kó ṣe dáadáa fún gbogbo wa Ọlọ́run Stephen Ọ̀pára kò mọ kí ẹ eléyìí ní Somalia Lion of Africa 1977 brother Somalia lẹ́wà kódà Mr. Lawale Rahman mo kí yín good morning nínú 64 years of Nigeria existent èmi ti lò 25 years níta lóòótọ́ mo ti wálé láàrin méjì in and out but imagine I have spent 25 years of my life outside the country If Nigeria was a great place, I mean, it's good to travel, it's good to explore, it's good to study, it's good to engage. Kódà èèyàn lè lọ sí Russia kó lọ kọ́ èdè, but kò jẹ́ kó wá sọbẹ̀ di ilé permanently. Ó yẹ kó padà sílé ni. Ẹ yọ 64 years, bá mi minus ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wò tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ mi, ẹ minus wọn náà wọ́n kí mi láti Switzerland. Àwọn ìlú dáadáa nìyẹn. Greetings from Switzerland. Thank you so much. One day I would love to come to Switzerland, but very expensive. I want to come during the World Economic Summit. Mr. Ayegbusi, Kehinde Mokinyi, Koikimedia team. 64 minus 25. 24. I came in 1998. Ó ti pé 25. Months in mo dé UK 25 years ago. But mo ní sọjọ́ yẹn gangan kò necessary now. Ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ too much. Gatwick Airport ni mo gbà wọlé. Gatwick Airport with a visa 25 years ago. Minus 64 from 25. How many loku? Ẹ bá mi sáré kọ síbẹ̀. 17 state governors have raised committees to implement the 70,000 new minimum wage workers across the country. I need your help. No. Ẹ má tọrọ owó níbí báyìí, Mr. Mayowa. Ẹ má ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ níbí báyìí. Ma block yín ni o. Ibi ayo ń ṣe Kokun Foundation, kò ń ṣe ibi tá tin tọrọ owó. No. Ẹ má kọ́kọ́ máa kí wa pé Yorùbá nation kẹ́ wá ní kẹ́ sand owó no. I need gbogbo ẹ̀ níbí báyìí. No, sorry. Because I need gbogbo ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá ma delete comment yẹn, tẹ́ bá tún put again, ma block yín. Tọrọ owó níbí báyìí. Sorry. Mo ní platform tèmi, platform mo máa jà fún Yorùbá nation ni. Mr. Mole sọ pé Koiki, there are many Nigerians living in Switzerland. I have nice contact with them. Thank you so much. Beautiful Nigerians, I guess. Hardworking and also contributing to the economy. Ẹni tẹ́bí bá ń pa tó bá dọ̀la any right láti jáde láti lọ complain. 1 minute before I joined the Star Radio, mo dẹ̀ ti push gbogbo tí mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Ẹni tẹ́bí bá ń pa right tó bá dọ̀la ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó fẹ́ protest. That's all I can say. No going back. October 1st protester insist rather. Thank you so much for watching me from Switzerland. So 1998 from 2024, 26 years ago, 26 years. That means I only spent 26 years of my life. Well, no, because I've been in 1970. But imagine I have spent 25 years of my life outside a country that is meant to be mine. And you are not worried. Abi? Nobody's worried. Torí pé I am enjoying, I look fresh, London boy. Yes, I'm a London boy. Because I am worried and concerned now that Moki ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Mr. Fab. Son kankan lórí dinner àti rally ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Mr. Fab. Ṣé yan bẹ́ẹ̀ o ṣé kò sí. Ra ticket dinner. Tún pè mí pé Koiki rally please. Àbẹ́ ni sínlé ni, àbẹ́ sínlé. Àǹtí mi kan bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn tí mo mọ̀, grandma Ṣadé lọ́tọ̀. Size aṣọ yín yẹn mo ti mú ẹyọ kan nínú ẹ̀. So ìkejì ni mo ti mú because there was not enough. Ṣé mo ń bọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Mo kí wa. Mo kí gbogbo wa. Kò ní sú wa, kò ní bàjẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ n sáré make one call ká tó continue. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Okay, because mo gbúrò yín náà ni mo wá wonder. Okay, we'll move more. Yeah, how you doing? Is everything okay from there? Okay, what do you think your ETA will be? Roughly. Okay, that's fine because I'll be done on the radio then because I want to join my studio at 11 o'clock. That's fine. All right then. At least I have an idea. I'll be done by then. All right. Thank you. All right, Mommy, Mr. Brother, ẹ má bínú call yẹn. Ẹ má bínú call tí mo make line kan yẹn ló interrupt broadcasting. Ẹ má bínú. Mo ń dókè lè padà. Yeah, I think it's back. Emma Binu caught him making a low interrupted. So I need to connect the car so that I call it pick that up. Emma Binu network and don't share again. So now where's my Skype? Okay, that's it there. So now let's join Archie. So I can join Archie in the scene. Let's join Archie. So alright, that should be coming back on. Alright, Emma Bina in your, so now we're good to go. So let's join Archie.
That you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After download, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749-7377-647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting live online.
Well, it's gone 5 minutes by the top of the hour, and I can tell you as shortly as we say, we promise and we deliver. I've got with me Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI. Yes, you can see him in the car. That means he's parked. He's not breaking the rules. He's parked. And then he can broadcast. That is how it's supposed to be, right? Good. So you learn from us. We're not just saying that you are driving and then no. So, I mean, if you are listening to us, know that that is what he's done there. But let me say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie, and I hope you can hear me back loud and clear back in the studio.
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear.
Good morning to you, and good morning to all our listeners as usual on the Monday edition on the Starr Radio UK network, and also on all the sister broadcasts that have connected to this platform as well. Remember, if it's not the Starr Radio UK, it can never be any other platform. Share the program and invite, because this is where we discuss the news affecting Africans and the diaspora, both at home and as well back wherever they are. And this time around, it will be from the Nigeria. But for now, I'm going to join the studio again. And like you said, it is important, whenever we are communicating from this side, because we are on the go. I'll be telling you, there's been a lot of flood flash this morning because I've been out since about almost 5:50 this morning, and we've driven few places, and the highway maintenance have already shut some of the roads. I'll be telling you a little bit about that. But right now, the car is stationed, and we are communicating back to you in the studio so that we can give the news update for the next 35 minutes.
Well, listeners, it's duty call. That's why we do all that. And let me say thank you very much to Yomi once again. But I can see you in your military apparel. I mean, this man, it means that this man means business. He means business. Now, I know in Nigeria you cannot put on that apparel. If you put that one on, they'll think that this man is thinking about doing something. But here, why are we allowed to just do that?
Well, what we need to understand is that, putting on a military camouflage is respecting the job of the military officers around the world, and especially in the UK, where, the British military have done quite a lot, in not just humanitarian services in the UK during a lot of crises. They're brought out to support. Remember, when we have strike with the doctors and the nurses, the NHS, and likewise, the fire engine, then that is where the military comes out and show that sympathy of humanity. So it is not putting it on that will make you look a different person. It's appreciating it. But in Nigeria and African countries, maybe because the system cannot identify who is who, so when you put on a military camouflage, is either you are likely to be a genuine Nigerian military officer or just one Boko Haram terrorist that is ready to take you out. So this morning, not because I wanted to put it on, but I had to get my other jacket to the laundry, and it's not going to be ready until the next 48 hours. Remember that the winter is getting closer, and if you don't dry clean it, you probably, and my wife keeps saying to me, have you done it? And I wanted to be sure that it is done because she might just continue the nagging. And you know how the women's are. And I don't want her to nag because she wants me to look good when we are out there. And that is why she said, I can spot the dirt, even though it's a black jacket. I said, how do you spot it? She said, I have the visible eyes to see it.
That's a woman for you, man. They make sure that we look good, right? Good. Yeah, so we say shout out to all the women. Yeah, good morning to you. Rachel, good morning to you. All right, then. Now, let's come to the substantive issue. I mean, okay, yeah, you were talking about the flooding that has gone on. We have floodings that have gone on in Nigeria, and that was quite serious. Now, when you compare flooding that takes place here and flooding that takes place there, let's call it all natural phenomenon. However, the way the organization is done, so that when there are things like that, we have the what do you call them, the military, we have at times we have the what do you call them, the police, we have the what do you call the ambulances, and everybody getting on with it and making sure that things calm down quickly, and we have the insurance companies coming in to sort things out. But when it comes to Nigeria, there was floods. Was it last week or thereabout? We're looking at floods, very big floods. Now, if you compare both, why do you think that people here go through the same thing? However, they have hope that things are better off and they will be better, call it a month or two, things become okay. But in our part of the world, no, it goes on years and people have still not even that. Yummy.
I think the most important thing is, the preparation for emergency. The Nigerian government and the state governors are doing their own little based on the resources that they have. But you must have the trained personnel, the trained individuals to understand that there will be crises and there would also be flood, there will be issues. Tomorrow is a protest, we're going to be talking about that. But like you were saying, just yesterday, 2 days ago, because today is the 30th, Lagos State, we know, is literally under the water. And there's always a concern that maybe in the years to come, maybe we will be alive then or not, if we do not prepare, Lagos might be completely taken out of our care in terms of the water and the environment. So the headline 2 days ago states, Lagos State, Ogun State are now warning the resident as Onya Dam plans to release water. We were talking about the Cameroon just about some few weeks ago, but right now, the reason why the Lagos State also said, look, as much as people might think that we are breaking the homes of some of the other ethnic people living in Lagos State, that is not the case. It's just that they have built those houses on the pathway to the water. The Lagos State governors, the Ogun State government have now issued warnings to the residents living in the flood-prone areas, particularly on the river bank, to temporarily relocate or brace for potential flooding ahead of the plan. The question is, like I said, while we were driving this morning, we saw the highway maintenance right there, refusing people to drive through because it has already been flooded. But we do know as well that there's a lot of concern to many residents in the UK. I was saying to my wife some few days ago, why do you even allow the developers, and I'm talking about in the UK, to build very close to the river bank? And as we know, it's all about the money coming from outside the country, and then you are telling the citizens, to brace up for issues. In the care of your insurance will be taking care of most of those things. But as we know, insurance system is not working in Nigeria, and that means many people will lose their livelihood, and if not lose their life, when it comes to flooding in that part of the world.
Well, what do you think about all that? Maybe you are experiencing something different from what we are talking about there. Feel free and share it with us. Maybe government is making sure emergency response is perfect in Nigeria, in Ghana, wherever you are listening to us from. Share it with us. Omobolaji Abdullahi, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us as well. And God bless you. Say God bless Mr. Archie and Koikimedia, Mr. Koiki and Koikimedia as well. Yes, God bless you all for patronizing us as well. Thank you very, very, very much. Naomi, let's crack on. Now, tomorrow is the 1st of October, and we know that is Nigeria's Independence Day. However, I don't know whether someone to say the opportunists or, so we have the Biafrans who are saying there's not going to be any celebration of the Independence Day, and we know there are protests that's going to be coming from there. So just putting the two stories together. what is going to happen tomorrow in Nigeria?
64 years tomorrow. That means 64 years ago, after the British colony and the British rule in Nigeria, and after the amalgamation of the southern and the northern and the Lagos colony, the Lagos that we're talking about, there was an amalgamation. That amalgamation has expired after 100 years. But it took 42 years for the British to finally, under the push of the, those of the leaders of the time, the, Bafemi Awolowo, the, Azikiwe and the others, to push for independence after Ghana and others have also done so. 64 years. Tomorrow will be another independence of what is called the Nigeria. And when did Nigeria gain independence is what some might ask. Nigeria got its independence on the 1st of October 1960. Nigeria was granted full independence. Whether that is something that we can review, we're going to come back to that, because like you said, the southeast part of Nigeria might not be celebrating because one part of that do not agree with what is called Nigeria right now. But those others that agree with Nigeria are going to be coming out on what they call the fearless 1st of October protest. But like I said, the country received its freedom charter on the 1st of October 1960 from Princess Alexander of Kent, the Queen's representative at the Nigerian independence ceremony. A lot of questions have been asked. Was that independence given to the whole indigenous people, or was it handed over to one particular section of the country? These are questions that remain unanswered, and that is what is leading to a lot of, requests to the right to self-determination. But let's go back to, the most important discussion, because the Nigerians that still believe in Nigeria are now saying that 64 years of bad governance, 64 years of corruption, 64 years of lack of the basic things of life. To many Nigerians, that I was receiving an audio from Saudi Arabia where the woman was crying all the way through because she left Nigeria. She has lived in Saudi Arabia as an illegal immigrant, struggling. One man sent another message from Mauritania. It's good to travel, but as I said, I left Nigeria myself 25 years ago, and the question is, do I plan to return back to Nigeria? The question is no, because there's no freedom of press, and I don't want to be in a country where I will be intimidated by the government, even though I might be putting on a military camouflage. But we are no longer in the military era. We are currently in what is called the democracy that has lasted for 25 years unbroken. But it seems that the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just intimidating the journalists, it's intimidating the civil society, it's intimidating the average Nigerians. And tomorrow, the no going back October 1st protest organizer insists. But it seems that the Nigerian police force are bracing up for what is going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but I know that at 7 a.m., the president will be telling us what he thinks about 64 years of Nigeria. Remember that the wife of the president assured us that we need to have a collective fabric, and I'm sure they'll be putting on that fabric tomorrow.
Well, let's see. Maybe the fabric will unite us, so we are all wearing maybe green. Yeah. With Nigeria, united Nigeria, then we will all be feeling good. But Omobolaji says no. It's a Nigeria zoo will celebrate 64 years madness tomorrow, and then it goes on further to say the 1914 amalgamation is a fraud, and 1999 constitution is a scam in the zoo. Now he's made his point. If you disagree with him, put your comments there, and we'll be listening to that as well. Now, Yomi, let's talk about the Biafra saying that's the IPOP saying that they are not going to be celebrating that at all. Is it the whole people who don't want to celebrate, or again the sit down policy of the IPOP that is making people, you cannot open your shops on Monday and blah blah blah? Is that what is causing them to say, okay, well, of course, this time around Tuesday we're not going to be celebrating anything? And if you look at everything that is going on in that part of the world, do you think the people are gravitating towards the IPOP or their independence or their freedom, where they think that they are being marginalized, they are going to do something about it, or they are just there because they are scared that if they make a move, then we'll have the IPOP coming against them? Yomi.
Well, some might push that, there's a kind of force of intimidation, that is being played out that is making, the part of the Southeast to be a little bit unstable. But that might be a different conversation from the leader of the IPOB movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that has now spent 4 years. We are talking about the same country that injustice to one is injustice to all. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu was not just kidnapped, it was rendition. The court has already proven that he is innocent, but for whatever reason, the cabals do not want Nnamdi Kanu to be left alone. That means that somebody has taken over because of an ideology, and that is Simon Ekpa. The government in exile, the Prime Minister, stated 3 hours ago on his Twitter X handle, Nigeria October 4th celebration is now banned in Biafra territory. Whether the governors agree with him or the other average citizens in the South agree with him, but it seems that it's proving something, that over 50 million Biafras who voted in what they call their self-referendum will mind their businesses. Every Nigeria institution in the Biafra land is expected to be shut down. That means, in as much as it's a bank holiday, he has agreed that people can go to their businesses, but there will be no celebration. How they'll be able to do that, we don't know, but it seems that, like you said, it is a country that is divided. I spoke to Professor Adebanji Akitoye this morning, and like I said, before the end of this week, we would have him to come and talk to us through this program so that we can hear from him what he thinks about the 64 years of the independence of Nigeria, with the Yoruba also demanding their right to self-determination, as the Vice President stated so when he went to United Nations, but in opposite, not for the Yoruba or the Biafra, but for the Palestinian people.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, we talk about the self-referendum for the Biafrans. Now, has there been a state recognized, the nationally recognized referendum that was given to them, or they organized something, or they are just coming out with that? Well,
it's not a state, because the 1999 Constitution does not have that into the referendum clause. And that is something that a lot of people are saying, that the Constitution needs to be pulled down and allow a new Constitution that would allow whether people wants to live as one or not, but whether that is going to happen anytime soon. But also, we are also hearing from the Arewa that are now also pushing against anything called, regional or restructure of Nigeria. And I'll be bringing a video on later on for us to listen to, the argument from one of their leaders stating clearly that this is not the time for anything known as restructure Nigeria, referendum. What they would prefer is known as the self-determination. Anything less than that would not be acceptable. Anything less than that would not be agreed to. But like I said, it is not just the two regions from the Yoruba and the Igbos that are crying for self-determination now. So we have the Arewa making the same push. And that means that there is so much pressure in the country right now. And we can only wait to see how all this will be resolved. And tomorrow, Sowore, as one of the leaders of the protest coming up tomorrow, stated that the protest will be not just a violent protest or a crisis or anarchy. We know that that is how protest is always meant to be, peaceful, until the police put out the tear gas, the water cannon, and then also including their thugs that the government also inject into such protests. So a former presidential candidate and the activist is one of the leaders of the planned protest tomorrow. Omoyele Sowore gave an update on the social media platform X today, insisting on the action and saying it will be held across the country. Someone interviewed Sowore yesterday and said, why have you not brought in your children from America to be part of that? And I hope you can still hear me back in the studio.
Loud and clear.
And Sowore said that, while they were fighting for the June 12th, the children of MK Abiola, up to 60 of them, were never involved. And he gave some other instances. He said that it is not compulsory that his children has to be involved, but it is all about the future of the Nigerians to fight. And that fight means coming out tomorrow for the fearless protest.
Okay, fearless protest. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, bringing you updates from Nigeria. We'll go back to him because we know that he will press with time. Now he can bring us all the others from the Dangote to transport refined products by sea. But transporting by sea. So why are they taking it to? Because if you are taking something to the northern part of Nigeria, there's no sea that's going to that place. Does it mean that it's just now shipping or exporting the finished product instead of selling it to or bringing it to Nigeria market so that the prices will come down? What do you think? A lot more coming from Yomi. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, you're quite right. You know, this announcement was made yesterday in a statement by the senior advisor of the group president on special project and strategic relation, Fatima Wali Abdurrahman. She noted that the construction of a jetty in the Lekki Free Toll Zone to handle bulk cargoes during the refinery development. Today, we are exporting our product to many African countries through the seaport. We also plan to ease the pressure. Remember that we have so many bad road network. We told you about this during, the program last week, that Nigeria has one of the worst road network in the continent. But it seems that, since the roads are not that drivable, motorable, they'll be using the sea to move some of the product. According to the group, this initiative is aimed to alleviate pressure on the road network. But the statement also stated that the Dangote Group, one of the major sponsors of the trade fair organized in Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that attracted a large crowd eager to learn about a state-of-art oil refinery, which has already commenced and discharging the petroleum product, but the prices has not been reduced to many Nigerians. The statement added that many attendees explored the company's various business units, but the most important thing is, it looks like Dangote is going to be exploring, the movement of cargo from the sea to destination across the country.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is the Monday edition of the morning show at 11:25, and it is Mr. OLAYOMI Koiki off the M25 on the motorway somewhere, one of the service stations, and bringing you live updates from Nigeria. So we'll go to him for him to bring you more from what is happening from Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi.
As the October 1st kick in again, then we should be expecting that the Naira for the crude deal will also begin. Remember that we told you that, Dangote will be buying the crude oil with Naira instead of dollar, since, he's buying it from the Nigerian government and not the other part of the globe. The technical subcommittee on the domestic sales of the crude oil in the local currency on Sunday confirmed that the supply of the crude in Naira by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to the Dangote refinery is to begin tomorrow. So we're going to look into that and see if the pressure will ease with the dollar. Remember that the Forex is becoming very difficult for many of the companies and individuals that want to have access to it. So let's remind ourselves that it was in September this month that the committee announced that the Federal Executive Council, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, approved the sale of crude oil to the local refinery in the Naira and corresponding purchase of the petroleum product as well in Naira. So maybe that will be something that Dangote will be excited about. We will be letting our listeners know from tomorrow. But let's go back again to the 17 governors are now saying that they have set up a panel. Well, I'm not too sure why they needed a panel, but again, 70,000 Naira is the minimum wage, but across the 34 states, including the FCT, only few states are paying that the 70,000 Naira minimum wage. So 17 governors have now set up a panel to review and try to implement the 70,000 minimum wage for workers across the country. The 17 states which set up these implementation committees are as follows: Ogun State, Ekiti State, Sokoto State, Kebbi State, Osun State, Enugu State, Borno State, Zamfara, Kogi, Kwara, Gombe, Kano, Taraba, Delta, River, Jigawa, and Abia. The development is happening as the federal government commenced payment of the new minimum wage to its 1.2 million workers last Thursday. According to the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Mediri, in the memo to the Budget Office of the Federation, noted that the civil servant will be paid the minimum wage with effect from September. It is easier said than done. We would have to confirm whether that 70,000 has been paid to some of the workers as well. Again, let's pick up some of the other news as well. Tinubu needs more time to settle down, according to the ex-Kogi speaker. Well, it looks like maybe some of those party leaders believe that Tinubu still needs to settle down. Well, 1 year in office, it looks like that is what is coming from the ex-Kogi State, governor. Without notice, Lagos continued to mass demolition of renders 3,000 people homeless. Like we said, you know, if you don't build the right accommodation, and those that are trying to flee from not just the Fulani terrorist attack, but also because of poverty and not having enough income and jobs in their state, would end up in Lagos, because Lagos seems to contain everything, but yet accommodation will be expensive, and that means people will end up on the street as well. Gunmen killed the PDP councillorship candidate brother in Kaduna is another headline. The gunmen have killed the People's Democratic councillorship candidate in Pari Ward in Karu local government area of Kaduna State. Another sad development from there. Let's take you back again and pick more news before we will go on the social media, and then we can come back and review some of these news headlines. We look into the business this morning. The World Bank again has approved another fresh loan of $1.57 billion to support the fund for Nigeria. The new financing will address the governance issues that constrain the delivery of education and the health, sustainable power and irrigation for Nigeria. We hope that this fund will not be swallowed by cats, will not be swallowed by snake, and will be used to support, you know, the project and support millions of Nigerians as well. Nigeria can produce 3 million barrels of oil daily, but that is not what we are producing. Let's remind ourselves that that region is a very, very unstable region. We're talking about different warlords that are controlling that region and continue to, you know, bring down the pipeline, and also as many criminals that are moving in with large containers of cargo and moving the crude oil out of the country. And that means that we can no longer produce what the OPEC want us to do. Federal government target 40% transport fare cut with the CNG expansion. We know that we have large volume of gas, but how we've not been able to make use of it is another question that is there. It was not Tinubu that removed petrol subsidy. Well, it seems that, you know, that is still back and forth in one of the headlines as well. Federal government to roll out 2,000 CNG powered tricycle for the Nigerian youth, which is called Keke Nape. You know, many countries around the world will not use such a kind of transportation system, but since it's in Africa, the biggest, nation, as we called it, the biggest black, nation in the continent. But it seems that Keke Nape will now be converted to the CNG, which is the gas to allow it to be used. We're going to take one more. Oil companies are owing the federal government 6.17 billion naira in royalty taxes as well. And like I said before I come to you, so that we can do a bit of analysis of what we've spoken already, I want us to listen to this video, which is going to come in as an audio, to what the Arewa are also saying, that those asking for the right to self-determination should be allowed to do so without any problem.
Wow.
Let's listen to that. It's still loading. I'll let you know when that is finally come up. But let me come back again to you in the studio so that we can continue, to deliberate on what we've spoken already so far on the Star Radio UK network this morning.
Yes, listeners, Mr. OLAYOMI Koiki.
Okay, I think we got it ready.
Yeah, go on.
This clip is titled Alleged Regional Government Bill in Circulation, if true, overtaken by events. A document alleging to be a bill submitted by Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly seeking to revise and to amend the 1999 Constitution and give regions independence from the central. In other words, going back to regional government arrangement. It's in circulation all over the social media. If this bill is true, and I hope it is true, my message is clear that the bill has been overtaken by events. What we hundreds of Nigerians need now is not regional government, but they want an independent country of their own. Regional government belongs to the past. Currently, the agitation is for self-determination, for all regions, ethnic nationalities wishing to have their own country. Anything short of that is children the right cause. I will not see, will not pass the passage of time. I will not see the daylight. Hello.
So that is, the engagement coming from the Arewa, saying that anything short of self-determination will not be accepted. Regional government restructure the country is just too late. So there's quite a lot, to look into the 64 years of independence of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I come back to you now, Mr. Archie.
Yes, quite an interesting statement that he's making. Now, can you tell, I mean, for those listeners who have not heard much about the Arewa, who are the Arewas? Can you give us a bit of a background to that, please?
Well, as we have the different social cultural group in Nigeria today, we have the Afenifere, we have the the Ohaize, but the Arewa of the Arewa land is the Hausa word, which means the north. The term is used to refer to the northern Nigeria general. But what we are saying is that the Arewa is simply an Hausa language terminating the northern or the northerners. So when we talk about the Arewa group, it's one of the, the powerful group that speaks on behalf of the northern part of Nigeria when it comes to issues affecting them as well. Arewa People's Congress is a group in the northern Nigeria that was established to protect the interests of the northern extraction. It has been described as a militant wing of the Arewa Consultative Forum. The group was formally launched on the 13th of December 1999. It has been chaired by the retired Army officer Captain Sagi Mohammed, who had been an operative in the Directorate of Military Intelligence. The Arewa People's Congress has a motto to preserve the invisibility of the country. The group said it will begin full self-defense training. That was, some few years back, just as OPC, the Oduduwa People's Congress, already have theirs in the southern part as well. The emergency of the increasing militant groups such as the Arewa People's Congress and OPC is one of the factors fueling communal violence in Nigeria. So again, is one of the powerful groups, just like the Afenifere and the rest as well across the country.
It's quite interesting because I was of the view that those in the north didn't want any break of the country.
He actually said so, that this is not what they would have preferred, but now that from looking at things, they've changed their mind. And that is why some of us are still not clear why some of the Yorubas that are asking for right to restructure and regional, when even the Arewa have not spoken, that I would prefer, the right to self-determination as against the regional government that is too late now.
Well, listeners, what do you think about the reforms? Do you think that will be, having a regional state as we had it back in the day, would that pan out well for Nigeria as a whole? Or you think that, people just breaking away, having their own countries, call it that way, would do? As the Yoruba nation is talking about, and we have the Igbo, the IPOP also calling, and now we have Arewa making. But government seem not to be looking at giving the people the chance for a referendum, because if you want to shish people, they said they want these people are leading them making noise. Like we were looking at the Scottish when they wanted to leave the UK, they wanted to be on their own. Okay, they did everything. Then government said, okay, fine, we'll all do campaign. We'll give you a chance to have a referendum. Now we know that they are saying that after the referendum, they think that no, things have changed and they will want out. Do you think that government will one day sit and say, okay, let's give everybody the north, let's give them a chance, let's give the southeast, let's give the southwest? Do you think anything of the sort will happen?
The issue is that the current administration does not really want to talk about anything to do with the breakup of Nigeria, even though Tinubu, while he was on exile in the UK, says that he doesn't believe in one Nigeria. But now he believes in one Nigeria. But how he's going to manage, these, agitation, these unstable economy, the insecurity, for the next 3 years that he's got in power, is something that a lot of us are looking up to. Like I said, now that the vice president has gone to UN to say that the Palestinians should be given the right to self-determination, that is also fueling anger amongst the Yorubas and the Biafrans, that this is exactly what they've been saying. They are not secessionists, they are not terrorists. But the question is, was it because the attack by Hamas to Israel that led to Israel going in that have now led to 40,000, innocent lives to be lost. Would there have to be similar situation that would then take Chetima back to the UN next year and then demand that the Yoruba and the Biafra should be allowed to go? But since, it's a peaceful exit that a lot of us are asking for, that means that the engagement would have to continue. And like I spoke to Professor Banji Akitoye this morning with some of the few things he actually asked me to review that I'm reading through. Like I said, he believes that this Yoruba country can come out of Nigeria in a different format from what has happened around the world in the past. People might say that it has to be war, it has to be fighting, but the professor believes that we can do it without such, and that means diplomacy and engagement would have to continue.
Well, listeners, Chinua Achebe did say, he said things fall apart because the center cannot hold. Now, when the center cannot hold with everything that is going on, the crisis, economical crisis, insecurity, and everything that goes on, then we have people saying that, look, things are falling apart, so why don't we go as segments and then have our own settlement? But we don't know what is going to happen there. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Let's go back to Yomi for what is happening on the social media and all the others that he has got. Over to you, sir.
Well, the social media has been lately very busy, with all kind of a different conversation going on it, and I'm trying to pick where to start this morning. But I can tell you that, it's more about the protest tomorrow that is part of the engagement as much as possible. Also, the issue between, the very dark man, the EFCC, the Falanos, it seems that is still generating a lot of traffic as well on the social media. The Biafra is trending, and as the Yorubas are preparing for the, the final outing from tomorrow, will be a countdown to 12 days where people will be traveling from around the world, to arrive in the UK for what is known as one of the biggest outing of the Yoruba people that will be led on behalf of Professor Adebanji Akitoye, Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, where the dinner will be held and the rally will take place the next day, and we'll be heading to Manchester for an interaction with the Yorubas that are living in that part of the axis as well. But like I said, looking at the social media this morning, it seems that the National Assembly is trending, and we know the reason that because the National Assembly is also interrogating and trying to review what has taken place. Do you send someone to the prison and they end up in a private apartment? How many Nigerians that are wealthy, that are meant to be in the prison, are probably just having a nice shawarma, with some beautiful individuals in apartment across the country? So all these is something that a lot of us have talked about. The corruption level in Nigeria is just too high. And I'm just looking at 10 minutes ago, Tinubu must appoint ambassador for Nigeria to stand a chance at the UN security seat. We talked about this last week. A year now, Tinubu has not appointed any ambassador to represent Nigeria across the world.
Wow, it is Starr Radio UK. It's been quite a very, very interesting morning, but tomorrow we'll see what is going to happen. The 1st of October, will the police go after the protesters? I mean, when they are saying they've not done anything, they'll say they're having a peaceful protest until the police go in and start throwing things and trying to stop people from going, because we know already the police say they wouldn't give them the permission to go on the demonstration. So definitely from the word go, I think they're going to be having difficulties with the protest. But Yomi, what advice would you give to the protest now before we run up the conversation? Well,
the advice that we will give from here is that it is the right to freedom of the individuals to protest. But the question is, the engagement by the Nigerian police needs to be reviewed, so that the international community can continue to respect Nigeria as long as Nigeria is still existing. But one thing is, when you try to stop a peaceful protest, you must then expect anarchy and crisis, and that could become very violent. And the last thing we want to be saying is dead bodies of innocent Nigerians, as the Nigerian government killed many innocent Nigerians during the Lekki toll gate that took place. But we hope tomorrow people will be allowed, to vet their anger for food shortage, insecurity, jobs losses, and businesses collapsing, and many other things, as we have been watching this government in the last 1 year. Tinubu says he's a Democrat, and he must also allow innocent Nigerians to do what needs to be done when it comes to the democracy that we have been told has sustained for 25 years. And like Professor Akitoye said before I round it up, if Tinubu doesn't allow such event to unfold itself, then that means we should brace up for how Yugoslavia break away.
Well, how would you want the break or the dissolution of the marriage to be? Peaceful? Or if the man, you are saying, I have to go, you are abusing me, I have to go, and it's not, then the woman starts to beat the man up, then they say, okay, that is the way, now go. What do you think is going to happen? But just keep your diaries open, because tomorrow we're going to be trying to see how best we can bring you live feeds from Nigeria with the demonstration that is going on. Yomi, before you go.
Thank you so much for joining again this morning as the end of the month, and we say Happy New Month in advance. And from here, I'll be handing back to Archie in the studio, and I'll be back again tomorrow, God's willing, if time permits. But for now, Archie will take you through the rest of the news network and update across the globe. I say a very good morning. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI. Coming all your way all the way from one of the service stations on the motorway. It's been a busy morning, but he has to make sure that we deliver on up.
Wow. Thank you so much. Afeni Ferry and Fufu Yesu Agbekoya. Like Afeni Ferry. Because I'm more Yoruba. Just reason, thank you so much. But Brisky will probably have been assaulted in Nigerian prison. I was even watching a video this morning. I think I've already downloaded the video. Remember? Let me see how I can get this. The video is quite, upsetting as usual. Everything in Nigeria is quite upsetting anyway. This girl complained that she was picked up. I don't know. They were doing something. It's a video download. Yeah, download. Let's listen to this. Boom.
With children, we don't know what to do. You people should come to our aid. We are in Maroko police station. We need help right now. We need help. Like seriously, yesterday night they picked us. They arrested us. They said we cannot walk. That they are raiding. How am I supposed to know that they are raiding in Lekki? I'm a victim. Please, this is real or more. And would you people should look at my face? This is my face. You people should help me. People should help me, please. I'm here. Nobody to. They say I'm going to prison for working at night. I should go to prison. And this is too much for me to be like, see. Often I have to bring it should make sense. See where we are. Please, Nigerians, we need help. We need help.
I'm just getting a report from one of our comrades online. Says Koikimedia, one of our comrades was killed in Kwara State. One of our comrades in Kwara has been killed by who? She terrorist Boko Haram or communion clash between the people or whatever. Mr. Clara Gegri, good morning. Watching this video, Eshegoni, Mr. Latif, thanks so much, Just Reason. Is sad as any other videos that we have seen in Nigeria in the past. Stephen Idowu, good morning. And Fulani. This is what we're going to be announcing on a daily basis. This is a Fulani power and all that. And we don't do anything. Maybe the governors will come for us. The governor will attack us. Ashati Shele Yoruba Muki Baba Yame Kabo. Sherry Orotowa nínú situation ta wà nísìn. Ibi ba ko láti máa sọ intẹ́yìn máa ṣe. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ rántí pé number one, this particular platform tó jẹ́ ti Koikimedia yìí, Odua TV, wọ́n cut video mi kan. No, wọ́n cut it anyway. It was 45 minutes. But ibi tó ti gbé lára àwọn tí ma ti ń sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi is the leader of the Kwara State on our struggle. So what do we do? If one of the leader of the Kwara State struggle send orúkọ wọn sí mi, ẹ má fi sórí broadcast, tó bá páyẹ àwọn Fúlàní tí gbogbo wa dẹ̀ ń ṣe pé àní ṣe nǹkan kan torí pé bóyá àyà wa ń já ẹ̀rù ń bà wá, Okay, Olasukomayinde from Kwara. I can't afford to stop watching you always. Actually, going to Kwara State. Cost a lot of money to watch me and others as well. So I'm not going to sit here. You know, we will probably have conversation, but what a lot of people need to understand is that some of what I say is what they want to take advantage of. Yeah, Koiki face Solori Bashifik by Yoruba Nation. And I can always say, you know, things will happen spontaneously. Look, we should be more even worried about tomorrow than Yoruba Nation struggle, because our kola lola nisin, àwọn Sowore, àwọn lo ni ọ̀la. Àdúrà tèmi gbà ni pé kí tí wọ́n yẹn kó lọ gan, kó wà spontaneous, kó heavy, and then maybe something would triple out of it. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lè má dé December tẹ́ ṣe ń dúró de àwọn Biafra, because ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún pọ̀ Yorùbá nísìn ó rà pé àwọn Biafra là ń lẹ fi pẹ́ ń dúró de. No, we can't wait for the Biafra. We have to prepare our own, and we have to prepare for the worst case scenario. We got to brace up. Prince Olawole Muki, thank you so much, Peter Pan. How are you? And happy new week to every single one of us. 64 years of madness of Nigeria. We have been intimidated for too long, and we must now accept the truth. Okay, Fulani Payan ní Kwara State. It is from Milori social media. I don't tell you what to do from here because I'm a leader. I don't give orders. I don't think some of you understand that. Èmi kọ́ ni mò ń give order. Baba Kitoye àti Olóyè Igboho àtàwọn leaders wa. Media lèmi. Èmi ń gbáradì fún yín àtara mi fún ìrìn àjò yìí ni. But expectation yín ni pé bóyá Koiki ló máa fún wa ní ntí a máa fi gbáradì sílẹ̀ pé ká lọ ṣe báyìí, no. Iṣẹ́ tó bá rán mi nìkan ni mo máa wá jẹ́ fún wa. But as a media organization, mo kàn brace wa sílẹ̀ pé báyìí ni ká expect bó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ tá bá máa kúrò nínú country tó ń pè Nigeria. Option oríṣiríṣi ló wà lóòótọ́. Àwọn tó disagree pẹ̀lú wa, what law with their option? What has been the end result? Àwọn tí wọ́n yapa kúrò láàrin wa. Àwọn tí wọ́n yapa kúrò láàrin wa. Kí ni àbọ̀bí tí wọ́n bá bọ̀ lórí pé wọ́n disagree pẹ̀lú Baba Kitoye àti Igboho? Ẹ̀yin náà play back pé okay, àwọn Koiki ó ṣe nǹkan kan àti Igboho, because reason tẹ́ ṣe ń dárúkọ èmi all the time is because I am the forefront of one of the medias. Èmi kọ́ nìkan ni media. I am just one out of the many medias tó ń sọ̀rọ̀. But bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń gbé kalẹ̀ is coming from a different angle. But one thing tí gbogbo a gbọ́dọ̀ understand ni pé the movement tàgbé dání tó fi di pé àwọn kan yapa kúrò nínú ẹ̀ páwọn fi ṣe tiwọn. Wọ́n náà wọ́n declare àwọn ṣe this àwọn ṣe that. A sọ fún yín pé rọ́lọ́ ń pa ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ pé Koiki ṣe bí wọn náà ló sọ nígbà kan pé olúkálukú lè ṣe tiẹ̀ ká pàdé lókè. Ṣé ẹ ti lè fi pẹ̀lẹ́ pàdé lókè pẹ̀lú àwọn yẹn? Wọ́n ní strength ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní strength tí wọ́n ń try láti ṣe yẹn. Wọ́n ní strength ẹ̀. Because tó bá ní strength ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní wà defeated níjọ́ tí àwọn náà wọ́n jáde yẹn. Ǹjẹ́ yìí rò bẹ́ẹ̀? Now ẹ wá imagine pé táwa náà bá ṣe similar thing tí wọ́n defeat wa, ẹ fi pé Tinubu government ò ní attack wa ni. Èmi kàn ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín ni o. Ǹjẹ́ yín rò pé bí ìjọba Tinubu ṣe wà nísìn this government pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ṣe fi pé Tinubu government yìí kò ní ṣe kíni, kò ní attack wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà? Ṣe fi pé Tinubu government ò ní attack? A kò fi wá sílẹ̀ ká máa ṣe tó wù wá. Ṣe fi pé ìjọba Tinubu máa fi wá sílẹ̀ pé kájọ máa ṣe tó wù wá torí pé àjọjọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá? Tinubu government ó ń ràn ní government ni, kò dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí government bàjẹ́ mọ́ òun lórí. So tabatẹ make effort pé bóyá kí bùgbà tí Buhari wà níbẹ̀ náà ni. Number one, Buhari máa ní kọ́tẹ̀. Ṣé Buhari tó ní kọ́ lọ kó wá sínú ilé Ìgbòho tí gbogbo wa rí kí lẹ rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tí a bá make a declaration mo fẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ torí a lot of people don't understand ẹlòmíì kan ó kàn gbọ́ bit by bit gbọ́ àgbọ́yé Yorùbá nation tá bá make a declaration right now tí a dẹ̀ sustain láti mú dání kí lẹ rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá fail mo kí ẹ Yorùbá ní Abẹ́òkúta Ọlánrewájú Táíwò mo kí ń sà sharp boy mo kí àwọn iṣẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ lórí Instagram àti wà lórí ètò for over an hour mo ń béèrè ni o tí a bá jẹ́ pé a ti declare Yorùbá nation tí ó dẹ̀ fail kí ni ẹ fi ipò máa ṣẹlẹ̀ it will be one of the biggest disaster gidi ló máa jẹ́ fún gbogbo wa and that is what led to the death of one of the kí má tó dárúkọ ọmọkùnrin yẹn because expectation ẹ̀kọ́ ló bá even though pé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ wà láàrin púpọ̀ nu wa so kò ń ṣe pé kí bàbá Akíntóyè declare nìkan ni a gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé interfaith gbé jáde nígbàkigbà tó bá máa jáde ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní ripple effect tó máa dé àgbáyé because declaration táwọn náà wọ́n ṣe nísìn kò débi kankan kò kúrò ṣe mọ̀ pé ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n declare títí di bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí àfi bóyá torí pé àkọ́tún sọ ní ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àwọn olóò declare tó ń sọ yìí ẹlòmíì ò mọ̀ ìyẹn mo ṣe sọ pé voice èèyàn kan strong ní ìrìn àjò yìí and the voice is Ìgbòho ṣá kọ́lọ̀ bá wa dá ẹ̀mí bàbá yẹn sí fún wa kó má bá wa pa nísìn kó bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ gbọ́ mi dáadáa kọ́lọ̀ ń jọ nínú ọlẹ́ kó bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí Ìgbòho mo kẹ́ easy because bí Ìgbòho bá command nísìn it will go a long way but we also need the consultation of so many others mo kí Allen Conde brother mi dada ní gbogbo China so èyí kò rò pé kákọ̀ jáde yes tí Ìgbòho bá jáde nísìn pẹ̀lú bàbá Akíntóyè tó make gbogbo arrangement gbódà within the next 3 weeks kamaloma brace up for whatever the circumstances tó fi jáde pé 3 weeks from now 1 month from now 2 months from now kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lọ brace up and I said something I've said it similarly can we hold this government for 1 month ká paralyze gbogbo tó ń pè ní southwest ó possible kò ń ṣàwọn tí wọ́n máa sọ fún wa pé àwọn ò ní ṣe no whether the warfare ṣe wọ̀ ní ṣe everybody must be bracing up for that a gbọ́dọ̀ hit ìjọba níbi tó máa dùn wọ́n gan and that is what we have not done so far because a ṣì ń sọ fún wọn pé jìbí Yorùbá lẹ́yìn ẹ jẹ́ kájọ jókòó kájọ sọ kúnná but we must brace up for such eventuality lọ́jọ́ wájú tí mò ń sọ yẹn kò ń ṣe lọ́la látẹ̀ni ni mò ń sọ a máa hit government níbi tó máa ti dùn government kí lẹ rò pé Israel fi ń gbasi fún wọn ní gbogbo region yẹn wọ́n hit ẹ̀ níbi tí kò dání Alex Mamomoke àwọn tó dẹ̀ hit Israel wọ́n ní the sympathy àgbáyé ọ̀nà méjì ni ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ka wà lórí Instagram kọ Belfast hello àwọn tó ń tajà àwọn bomb bastard ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin wa àwọn tó ń tajà ní 3 network ní kàn mí pẹ̀lú 3 network àwọn bomb bastard. You always think that because you might expect a call because àwọn tó ń bọ̀ láti Dublin mo fẹ́ kí èèyàn kan máa pè mí ká má get me ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí if we are going to be finally prepared that gbogbo awareness ta ṣe afẹ́fi sí ojú kan, then we must brace up for the worst case scenario. Toxic autos, moke. I gotta prepare for the worst case scenarios. We gotta brace up. But actually, our Yoruba kan wà, a ṣì ní sentiment gan fún Nigeria, and that is one of the problems that she need. Many Yoruba people still have the sentiment for Nigeria. Any sentiment fún. You gotta brace up. We have to brace up. If we brace up, that means we would have time to work out how it would eventually unfold itself. One announcing spontaneous in it. But one thing I gotta prefer láti sọ ni pé many people expect pé one thing gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nigeria káwa tó bọ́ta. No, I don't think so. Àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ ignite tí àwa fẹ́ fi jáde. Kò sí tó kàn wá pé kí la fẹ́ máa sọ pé kan tí Biafra fẹ́ ṣe. Kò sí tó kàn wá pẹ̀lú Biafra. Kò sí tó kàn wá pẹ̀lú àwọn ṣòwò rẹ̀. Àwa Yorùbá ta sọ pé àwa fẹ́ lọ. Àwa fúnra wa la gbọ́dọ̀ gbé nǹkan tí a máa fi jẹ́ kí inú bí ìjọba. We gotta do something. Tínú máa fi big government. Ìyẹn láì tí ṣe gbogbo ilé tá ṣe ń ṣe nísìn tá ń sọ̀rọ̀. We have not really touched àìtí fàjọba nírù. Ẹ kò mi ò gbọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa. Tá bá mú ìjọba tá fà nírù, tá mú òkété yẹn tá fà nírù, tá fọ́ mọ́lẹ̀. Tí gbogbo orí ẹ̀fọ́ sí gbogbo everywhere. Then wá mọ̀ pé àwọn ilé ìtàn pariwo Yorùbá nation yìí o, wọ́n ti wà ní another level. But àìtí dé stage yẹn torí pé gbogbo ọtí brace up. So I need you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.